Instructor. I'm going to tell you some of the things you need to do to pass your driving test. These are things you won't be told, so it's going to be a really nice tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and welcome you in. So the first thing you want to do, you want to come into your vehicle. You want to look around. A lot of people are leaving. You want to put on your seatbelt. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my seatbelt. Click it. And then it retracts. You want to have it across your shoulder. If you're shorter and it's to your neck, you definitely want to lower it down. So I'm taller. Next, I tend to look around to make sure it's clear. I don't want to run over anything or anyone. I next want to adjust my mirror. So I'm going to look straight ahead and frame my rear window in the mirror. So when I'm driving, I can just simply look up. So if you see my eyes, I'm looking up. My side mirror, I want to have that adjusted too. So I'm going to have it out a little bit. I'm looking straight ahead. Yes. So when I'm driving, you should see that type of eye movement. Hey, how are you? Hello. Next, I'm going to adjust my passenger side mirror. I'm going to look straight ahead. And yes, so my mirrors are adjusted. So when I'm driving, I can simply have my hands on the wheel, look up, look to the left, look to the right. Those are the eye movement things you want to do. So now my mirrors are good. My seatbelt is on. I'm going to put my foot on the brake. This is a push to start. I have something called a key fob. I like the motor warm up a moment to make sure my car is running good. I'm going to show you this inside outside view. I think that's more helpful. I do have a GoPro, but I'll use that next time. So on my dashboard, I have the revolutions per minute. The car just started. It's about 1,100. Usually it's about 700-800. I'm at 1/4 of a tank, so I have enough to travel outside of Chicago, do what I need to do, and come back. My motor is cold, so you want to let your motor warm up a couple of minutes. So I'm looking around, okay? And I always want to look. You'll see cars coming past me. Now I'm going to put it in reverse. I'm looking over my shoulder, and here's another tip. You can always put your right arm over the passenger seat. It will turn your torso. Say that real fast. Turn your torso. And I ease back really easy. I'm looking left and right, and then I turn the wheel to the right. The rear will go to the right. The front will swing out to the left. That is a knowledge testing question. So I'm looking. There's a private driveway. So I'm going to go down to the bottom driveway. I want you to see this inside view. So I come down to the bottom of the driveway, and I look to the left. There are cars there. So I'm going to wait. I don't want to cut off cars and run out. That will show your road tester that you don't understand proper spacing and positioning. So I think it's important that you see me looking. I'm looking to my left to check cars. And then once it's clear, I'm going to turn on my right turn signal so people know what I'm doing. It is a one-way. And then I'm going to look and go into the nearest lane. So I barely turn my wheel. If you overturn, your car is going to jump the curb. So I want you to see my eyes. I'm looking straight ahead. I'm not looking down because I'll crash. I'm not looking at my foot because that's what beginner drivers do. They check to see, is my foot on the gas? Yes, my foot's on the gas. Oh, by the way, I'm at 26 miles an hour. I should be going 35. So I'm 10 under the limit. So that's what beginning drivers do. They drive 10 under, 15 under, and it holds up the flow of the traffic. You don't mean to do that, but you do that. So I'm going to start squeezing my brakes, and I'm going to flip the angle. Okay, so now you see space, and here's a yield sign. So I'm going to yield and make sure it's clear. I'm checking to my left because that is the ramp to the expressway that cars come off. I have a green light, but I'm scanning the intersection. Got to see you look left and right. I'm at 30, which is fine. I don't have to be at 35, but 30 is fine. And I want to get my car centered. There are two big lanes, and there's a small half lane where people park. I wouldn't recommend you park there because you're going to get your car probably hit, and it's not safe. So I'm at 36 miles an hour. I'm going to lift my foot. I want to cruise. Typically, these service drives are 30 to 35 miles an hour. This is a great place to train someone. Also, police here because they know people are in a hurry. They're going to speed really fast. And then, hey, there are some vulnerable road users. Those are pedestrians. So I want to yield, be aware. Don't stop in the middle of the street. I've had beginning drivers just stop in the middle of the street. And this is a good real life drive where you're driving with me. We're at 33 to 35 miles an hour. I want to see you get comfortable. I want to see you look ahead. So you see the broken white lines. I want you to make sure that your car is centered. A lot of beginning drivers, I'm going to try to hug the right. See the car going to the right? That's what beginning drivers will do. So I want you to look ahead and aim high at this van, perhaps, and use the ball of your foot. Don't punch the brake. If I punch it, I will get rear-ended, and I always say that too. So I have to take my turn and stop. So I need to stop for 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003, and then I proceed. I'm gonna make a decision if we're gonna go an expressway or stay on this road, which is about 35 to 40. If you want me to go on an expressway, say yes. If you don't want me to go on an expressway, say no. And whatever you guys suggest, that's what I'll do. I have a yield sign, so I have to yield and look over my shoulder. So I'm gonna flip the angle, and literally I have to look over my shoulder to check cars. And it's clear, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get over to this middle lane. Things get really tight. So you saw me look, and now I'm trying not to be on top of cars, so I want you to see this view. Okay, so now I'm in the middle lane. And a lot of you would stop, and I'm gonna be courteous and just, okay, they were just pointing. So if I don't get any feedback, I'm gonna go ahead and get on the expressway, but don't change lanes through intersections. It's very dangerous. I'm already in the intersection, so I'm gonna proceed through with caution. I'm gonna get my blinker on. And I'm gonna wait because I'm running out of room, and then I go. That's a perfect example of what beginner drivers will do. They'll hesitate, almost hitting something. Now I want you to see this. I'm merging out, and this is where beginners really panic because you don't know how fast to go. I came out about 40, which is fine. Okay, I'm letting you settle down. We're about 52 at speed. I'm pretending you're driving. I'm in the passenger seat. I want you to hear this truck. When you're driving in this first lane, I'm looking for you not to hug the right, not to squeeze the wheel. Take your time. Now I want to see you squeeze the brake. There's a semi-truck behind me, so I'm not trying to hit my brakes really hard and get literally crushed. So I'm being deliberately slow. And sometimes I won't tell you if a semi-truck's behind us because you'll just panic and lift your foot and go into anxiety mode. So I know the truck's behind me, but I'm not gonna keep staring at it because I need to look ahead. I'm gonna show you. Okay, you see that truck is in the back window. That's a big semi-truck. So we want to be deliberate. We want to be smooth. We have to take our time. And as the flow picks up, we gradually pick up. I can see the semi-truck driver increasing his following distance. Notice I used the word increase to make more space. Decrease means to make smaller. We're at 55 miles an hour. Yesterday, if you were here, we had a semi-truck going almost 70, but then I believe here in the United States, the max speed is about 60, 55 or 60. So things are good. You see me looking around, checking mirrors. If I don't see you doing this, I'm gonna mark you down. I'm still in the first lane. I may make a lane change to the left to show you how you check your blind spot. This car has lane detection, blind spot detection. So I'm gonna turn on my blinker, mirror, turn signal, blind spot. Then I got over, and then I canceled my blinkers. Now I'm in the middle lane, and I'm going to change so you can see. Okay, That's a nice view. I would tell you, cruise, don't go real fast, don't go real slow, keep space. And then now I would tell you, squeeze your brakes. And there's a great car behind me, almost rear-ended me. I'm speaking from a defensive driving mindset, not a nervous instructor or nervous person. So I'm just taking my time. And now I'm going to show you the rear. Okay, so that gray car that's in my back window, they almost rear-ended us. So you have to drive for safety. You have to drive for a defensive mindset. So I'm just looking around. You see me checking mirrors, getting feedback. You want to have about 6 to 8 feet of space on left and right. And it's a car lanes for every 10 miles an hour. We're at 57, 1001, 1002, 1003. I'm about 3.5. I need a little bit more space. So I'm feeling good now. I'm being smooth and deliberate, and I'm lifting my foot. So I want to show you this. You see how the white minivan has used a blinker and got in front of us, which is fine. You can't tailgate. Well, thank you, Jackson. I appreciate you for the great support. And anything I can do to help, hopefully this encourages you to get your license. I believe you're from Florida. If I was down there in Florida, I would definitely help you get your license, get you to the DMV, whatever I can do. So you need to reach out, and whatever I can do to help you, you have to let me know, because you definitely support me 1,000%. So now I'm squeezing my brakes. And there's semi-truck to the right, they're going by. Believe it or not, that semi-truck is going to be way further ahead of us, but I'm going to stay in the middle lane for demonstration purposes. So you can see traffic to the left, in the middle, and to the right. So I'm just taking my time, and I'm almost tempted to get behind the semi-truck so you can see it, but I'm going to stay in the middle lane. So when you're driving, make decisions. Either you're going to stay in the lane or you're going to change the lane. Now, I'm definitely staying in the lane because you see all this traffic to the right. If I cut over, they're going to cut me off. If I stay in the middle lane, I'm good. But I'm looking for cars that may come over, and I'm scanning. I'm not staring at these cars. I'm looking to see them. And now I'm going to squeeze my brake. And I'm squeezing a little bit more. Thank you, Jackson. I appreciate you. And, we all need to appreciate and support each other in this journey. So I'm looking ahead, just taking my time, being smooth, being deliberate, and we're at 34. The speed limit is 70. Because of the volume of traffic, see the black car cut over to my right? You have to see it, but you can't stare. And now we're at 50 because the flow of the traffic is picking up. I'm trying to find that semi-truck. It's up there. He or she in that truck. So what I'm going to do, no, I'm going to go ahead and stay in the middle lane. And we're at 63 miles an hour now. And trust me, that truck is going way more than 70. I'm at 62. So I'm trying to be deliberate. I'm not trying to hug right or left lanes. If this is giving you value, give it a thumbs up. I like this because I can get feedback from all of you immediately. And I'm at 63 miles an hour. It's good. If I go in the left lane, I could go a little faster, but I'm going to be riding another car. So I'm going to go ahead and do it for educational purposes. Mirror. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Mirror, turn signal, blind spot. I got over. So now I'm in quote unquote the fast lane. So I'm at 70. I'm passing more cars. I see what's going on, taking my time. And I'm trying to be very deliberate. And I'm not turning the wheel as much. If you see the car going left to right, I'm turning. A lot of adults and teens turn the wheel back and forth, back and forth. The speed control's pretty good. I'm on a curve, so I'm trying to hold the wheel very gentle. And I'm just looking, checking my mirror, checking to the side. I'm going to give you another angle now. There's the semi-truck. Truckers do have the advantage. They are higher up in the air and they can see more. So I'm lifting my foot. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm lifting my foot and just taking my time. I'm not on the throttle because if I was, I would be on top of this white vehicle and I do not want to get hit. And I'm turning the wheel really gentle. This is a really tight curve. They have a flat tire, so you have to know how to change a flat tire. It's definitely a bad spot. I'm hugging the left a little bit, so I'm trying to get centered. If I look at the line, I'll drift toward it, so I'm using the line as a reference. Remember, this car, the client had hit a curb, so it does pull it to the right, and the steering wheel is off-center a little bit. Meaning the steering wheel symbol is not level, it's to the right. Looking ahead and around the curve. Traffic is moving good, but it looks like the flow is starting to slow down. So I'm just lifting my foot off of the throttle and just being smooth. Now traffic is slowing down, so I'm squeezing my brake really easy. I want you to see this. So we're at 57 already. We were at 70. Now we're at 55. I'm losing my space. So now I'm on the brakes. I'm at 39, 30. If you hit your brakes too hard, you're going to get rear-ended. I'm at 37 miles an hour, and you have to be prepared for sudden traffic changes, condition changes. This is a great time to take the student out who has had about 4 hours. And you get a chance to see this. So if you're going to be getting on the expressway, this is for you. If you're a new driver to the United States, this is for you. If you're 18 to 45, 50 years old, this is for you. Because I'm a driving instructor and I want to give you the best perspective to encourage you. And, you know, some people have been in crashes and you have some traumatic experiences. I understand. I'm lifting my foot. I don't want to rear end this vehicle. This is rush hour in the morning. This is rush hour in the early afternoon. And I'm not even in California. Also, I've been up to Montreal, the 401. So we want to support our brothers to the north. And the speed limit is slower than that. We're at almost a quarter of the tank, so I need to be thinking about fuel pretty soon. We're at 46 miles an hour. I always look around so people look at me like I'm weird or something, but I want to know who's around me, what's around me. Like this is some type of construction vehicle to our right. Could that fence come out on me? Could those metal poles come out? Could a shovel come out? So you don't want to be behind that. It says caution, vehicle makes frequent stops. Nationwide construction group, so I don't want to mess with them. I'm going to keep it going. We're at about 68 miles an hour. It's pretty relaxing. Hold in about 70. Our battery voltage is 14. Driver time is 42. Our fuel economy, we're getting about 23.3 miles per gallon. Engine filter, air filter life is 35%. So if we had a new crispy air filter, we would get better mileage. You can't see this, but the rear tire passenger rear is at 30. So there's something going on with that tire. The rear left passenger is at 35. The front left driver's 36 and the front right passenger is 38. So there's something wrong with the rear back tire. Could be a screw, a nail in it. Every 2 or 3 years in the driver's side vehicle, we get something in there to damage it. So you gotta know what your vehicle's doing. Oil life is 54%. We have 110 miles to empty. We're averaging about 27. It's pretty good. This is pretty chill driving. All 3 lanes are moving, so you don't want to upset the balance. I'm trying not to turn the wheel much. The other day I demonstrated a 4-way stop, but there was a lot of traffic. I'm going to try to get you to a different area today. I'm trying to stay smooth. I see a lot of brake lights popping on, so I'm lifting my foot off. I'm looking ahead. If you look to the right, you can see all those brake lights, and people would just cut in front. I don't think they would cut off that semi ahead, but you never know. I'm anticipating, so what if someone cut off the semi? I'm going to keep my distance. I'm staying out of the truck's no zones, left side, right side, front, and back. Go ahead and get over the 1 lane to the right, mirror, turn signal, blind spot. So I have 3.5 to 4.5 blinks before I get in the lane. I'm in the middle lane now. Doing a lot of construction on the road. I see the school bus. Go ahead, I'm going to show you a lane change. Okay, so I had to get over to the right. So mirror, turn signal, blind spot, and I'm checking, and then I cancel my blinker. You should see me looking far enough ahead. I lifted my foot because a truck came over, and I'm checking my mirrors, and I'm looking up the ramp because cars will just come out. We're at about 70. I see some other trucks and cars going about 80. You'll see a vehicle. It's in my blind spot detector's on. And you'll see it entering in just like now if I got over. You'll see that white vehicle. So that's why you have to look. And you see them cutting over really fast. We're at 66. I gotta drop down more. If we continue on this road, we'll be in Canada. So you gotta really watch what you're doing. I do have an enhanced license, so I don't have to show all the birth certificate and all the other documents. So that's always good. Just taking my time. We're at about 60 now. The biggest thing is focus and concentration. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. I'm trying to give you value to help you pass your test. A lot of people have said, hey, I had my test and they wish me luck. Hey, I passed my test. Thank you. And I'm really appreciative. And during the week, I read comments, I look at them, and then I definitely reply. So I'm lifting my foot. I'm at about 35 right now. And then when I hit this warning sign, I need to drop my speed down to 30. This is another area where I take clients, and it's very confusing. So I'm going to get all the way to the left. Looks like it's open. I'm squeezing my brakes. I'm looking up and around the curve. I want you to see this. And I'm going to show you something. Okay, I'm making a turn. You're going to see me look to the left. I'm squeezing my brakes. And I have to go by the double yellow. So I'm looking where I'm going. And then I want you to see the double yellow. There's the double yellow. Now, I'm not going to hit the gas real hard. Why? Because this light changes really fast, and we're going on a downhill slope, so I don't really have super control of my vehicle. If it was in the wintertime, I could slide and rear end someone. Don't want to do that. I'm at 27, and that's that same white vehicle that kind of tailgated and cut us off. It's funny how you arrive at the same time with someone. My speed control is pretty good. It's really dangerous in this area. There are a lot of businesses. You have White Castle Fart Burgers. I'm joking. You got King of Burgers to the left. You have Panda Express. You have Starbucks Bucks. I'm going to get into the left lane. I probably won't make this green light. I'm in not that much of a hurry. And I'm going to go in slow. I still have a green. And I'm going to be right by the curb lane. And I'm looking through the curb. And then I will hit that turn. I'm going to go ahead and make a right turn in the second driveway. And I'm going to squeeze my brakes. And I'm going up slow. And then I use my blinker because that's what you're supposed to do. And I'm going to turn. And you're going to see me park. So let's kind of review what just happened. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I gave you a tutorial on some of the things you won't be told, some of the things you need to do, and many things you need to learn. Example, how to merge on a ramp. If you go under 35 or 40, you'll get cut off. Other drivers are driving 55. That's the legal limit, but they're going 65, 75, 85. They'll cut you off. Next, you saw a lot of stop and go traffic. That's common for this time of day, and if you're not paying attention, playing with the phone, drinking something, not really focusing, you could literally rear end someone. Next, you have to drive with good speed. I was 65, 70. If I go slower than that, which beginning drivers do, you're going to hold up the flow of the traffic. People will start level 1 road rage. They'll tailgate you aggressively. Level 2 is where they're cutting you off. Level 3, crazy mode. Okay? Next, you have to check your blind spot. If you're not, my blind spot is here to my right and here to my left. I'm looking over my shoulder. That's my blind spot. There's a red Volkswagen here. And if I don't look, I'm going to cut off this Volkswagen. So you have to check your blind spot. A lot of beginners turn the wheel and then we lose control. You saw me back out from a business and I looked out of my back window. I also have a backup camera. I'm not saying don't use it, but also you need to look around because there are kids, there are people trying to get out, there are people trying to come in. You saw me on a service drive. That's a low speed road. It could be 25, it could be 30, it could be 35. There's some stop signs. A stop means STOP. I'm giving you a review. And if you just popped in, I'm a state certified driving instructor. I did a tutorial on expressway driving, lane changing, merging, speed control, checking blind spots. You need to go with the flow of the traffic. We saw a semi truck, I believe it was blue. They were in the right lane. And I told you, you need to choose a lane and stay in that lane. I was in the middle lane. And I said to you, well, should I get to the right lane? I could go faster and catch up to the truck. I don't really want to do that because cars are going to merge out. They don't want to be behind the semi truck. And if the semi truck slams brakes, I could go literally under the semi truck, and that could be dangerous. So I stayed in the middle lane. And within a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, I caught to that blue semi truck in the right lane. On the other hand, if I go to the left lane, that's the passing lane, faster speeds. You're not really missing anything. Being home a couple minutes earlier, eating cereal, whatever you guys do, right? I eat cereal too, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to take your time. And then now you're on a ramp. You're used to traveling 65 or 70, you're velocitized. Used to traveling at high speed for a very long time. If you're not careful, you could literally run over someone or tailgate them. I gave you some inside views, outside views. I think it's going to give you a good perspective. I have some other things I can do. I'm trying to show you that you always have to pay attention. There are cars to the right. There are cars to the left. There are cars in front of you. There are cars behind you. If you don't pay attention, you can easily get into an accident or cut off someone. I believe I demonstrated that today by showing you a lot of cars who don't use blinkers, cars who cut you off with the blinker, and cars that are going really fast, cutting in and out of traffic. That's called an erratic lane changer. I think this development helps you from what I see in the comments, and I want you to leave comments. Is this helpful to you? Would you like me to get another angle? I have a GoPro. You could see me, my hands on the steering wheel. You can see me looking around. I like this view because I can talk to you like we're here together one-on-one. I would be sitting in the passenger seat. You would be in the driver's seat. And then let's pretend this is my evaluation sheet. I would tell you, well, what did you learn today? Well, I learned how to merge out. How did you do? I thought I did okay, but you said it. I need to go a little bit faster. Yes. Can you show me your blind spots? Okay, I can. There's one to the rear door to the right. There's one to the left to the rear door. There's one in front and there's one behind. What did you observe on the expressway? I've observed a lot of people going 75, 80. I observed people going 60, 55, 40. What else did you observe? I observed staying in the middle lane. If you're learning how to drive and you're a beginner, less than 2 or 3 years, get in that middle lane. If you get in the right lane, you're going to be cut off by semi-trucks, cars, people in a hurry, people thinking, hey, I have a big truck, I'm just going to cut you off. I'm not a hater toward big trucks. I'm a truck enthusiast. But they have bigger blind spots. We saw a truck carrying a heavy load, wheelbarrows, shovels, fences. We don't want the material to come out and come through our window. I've seen it. It's very dangerous. You also see where I am coming from defensive driver perspective, because I'm not only a state certified instructor, I try to teach you and narrate about defensive driving. I do have a chauffeur's license. And if I want to drive a limousine, I need a class 1 CDL. And that could be something pretty interesting. You never know. But I'm just trying to show you that slower vehicles stay to the right. Medium to smaller vehicles can get in all 3 lanes. You won't see a semi-truck in the left lane because they're reserved for the first and second lane. We showed you cars that were going 75 and 80. We arrived at the same spot at the same time. What else did you learn today? I learned to identify what's on the dashboard, my speed. I learned some of the common errors. Beginning drivers, I'm going to look down. They look down at their feet. They look at the speedometer. Your eyes should be on the road. You saw me today flip the camera back and forth, looking to the left, looking to the right. You saw me adjusting my mirrors. Okay? You got to have your mirrors adjusted. I'm really tall. I don't want to be really low on the seat. I'm not showing you. This is too low. There's some drivers that drive like this. You can't drive like this. I'm 6'4". I weigh about 280. I'm a big guy. So I got to have my seat adjusted, right? This is still too low for me. Feels like I'm on a couch or something. You want to be, it's still too low. You want to be at about a 45-degree angle. So you can have your seat tilted back, but you're not driving straight arm. This is straight arm. You want to have a bend in your arms. I have some good YouTube shorts on that. You should look at it. You want to use the ball of your foot. If you're hitting the gas or brake too hard, you're going to get rear-ended. It will happen. There were cars tailgating us, and I just squeezed my brakes, and all of a sudden, they jumped. So I'm thinking, do I want to get rear-ended? I'm trying to give you knowledge and perspective. Every instructor's different. Every person you view, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Discord, they do different things. I'm blessed that you are taking the time to listen to this. I try to educate you, make you a better driver, prepare you for your journey to get your license. If this brought you value today, give it a thumbs up, learn from this, watch the content, leave comments, and more positive things are coming. Guys and ladies, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll probably get back on tonight to do some night driving tutorials for you. Bye, guys. Bye, ladies.